Okay, and we are indeed live. And hello everyone, this is Sakatsu, and it's been a while, so I think I should start this off by saying I'm sorry for the very, very long hiatus after another very, very long hiatus. So, yeah, about that. I got into it for a few days and I couldn't do it anymore, and I didn't feel inspired to it, so I decided I can't think of anything good. I'm not going to do it at all. I'm not going to go off the script, but today I'm going off the script, and I'm hoping it'll be good because I haven't prepared anything for this what if. But before we get into that, please go down below and subscribe, like this stream or video by the time, because I'm betting no one will watch it. And also, please do not forget to, yeah, that's it. Also, another important announcement I need to make here is by the hopefully on the 20th of January, I'm putting this in. I'm just coming up with this. I had the idea for this, but not the day. By the 20th of January, I will have selected someone from the subscribers who watch my videos, anyone who comments. I'll select one person to get this card. It's a PlayStation Plus card. It's a little beat up, but that's because um, I was throwing it at my brother. And as you can see, not at all scratched off, so um, it is completely legit and has not been used before. So I'm going to be giving it away, and I am going to hope whoever gets it has a use for it. If they don't, they can choose to still get it and or have it be gifted to someone else, and I'll select someone else, you know, as they wish. So, without further ado, let's get into what if Naruto had infinite Baryon mode. And I know if a lot of people have done this already, like I think Izukage did it. And well, not a lot of people, but a couple people at least have done it. So I think Izukage did it first. If not, it was someone else, and I just haven't found it. So I hope all of you are ready to enjoy this what if, and let's get right to it. So this is going to start off with um, Naruto at the age of 4, uh, getting fed up with everything, villagers treating him like trash and no one caring for him. So he gets fed up and decides to leave the village. And so he does. And he he sneaks out of the village because there is one of the gates that all the guards that work it are very lazy because they just are. So Naruto takes advantage to this, and while they're asleep at their post, he sneaks out of the village and makes his way into the forest surrounding the village. And with that, Naruto Uzumaki is on his way to whoever, wherever he ends up. And after a few days of endless walking, not sleeping, because for some reason he just can't get sleep anymore. He hasn't been able to do it. He hasn't been able to sleep since he can remember, which is about a year and a half. And at this point, he doesn't even realize it isn't normal. He doesn't ever ask anyone about it. And with that, Naruto Uzumaki just keeps working and working and working towards wherever he ends up. So after a few days, he ends up finding this old rundown village. Nice, like it seemed like as big as the Leaf Village, but it's all run down. Multiple buildings have collapsed, but he then sees this one huge building, tall and wide and long. It seems to take up most of the space in the village. So he makes his way there. On the way, he swear he sees someone running around between the buildings and inside of them, but he thinks that it's just his mind playing tricks on him. So he continues along with this uh, journey, eventually making it to the large building where he enters and finds inside it's a library, like the one in the Leaf Village is massive, at least 10 times as large. And so he makes his way further and further in until he finds a section of scrolls where it has uh, do not touch, uh, and it's all sealed inside of case with locks on it that have mostly eroded away due to years and years of just poor climate, all of this. So locks are rusted, and then no one decided to seal it because it was such a protected village, and everyone knew not to go back there, and there were seals preventing people to get in it, but it was tied to the clan leader's life force. So after he died, well, the seals fell. So that allowed Naruto to get inside of these cases, and inside he finds scrolls, and he reads a few, and he finds one that really piques his interest, and he says it says the Nine Tails Jinchuriki, and uh, he looks into it and finds out that uh, there's the last known Jinchuriki marked down in the scroll of the Nine Tails. It also includes stuff about how the Jinchuriki all work and how they can enter this mode called Baryon mode, but it will kill the user and or not the it will kill the tailed beast for good, and it was only found out because of the Sage of Six Paths informing people about it, the Jinchuriki, and they remember that and they pass that knowledge down, but no, it was forgotten and lost in these scrolls. So with that, he reads the last person's name, who it was marked down as, and it says Kushina Uzumaki. And Naruto remembers hearing this name before. And then he remembers uh, that it was the wife of the fourth Hokage, and uh, he then he ignores this, like, oh, that's weird. And why is she marked down in here? And she says she's Ninetales Jinchuriki. It's weird. But what really piques his interest, like most of all, not even the burying mode part, piqued his interest. Well, this is the burying mode part, the main part of the burying mode. Uh, it, he finds out there's a ritual that one can perform to awaken burying mode without killing the tailed beast. So he looks into this more and more and more and more, and he finds out that the user must with the Nine Tails chakra, kill the person he cares most for. And Naruto's like, huh, that sucks. And even in his child mind, he knows that isn't a good thing, and that uh, not many people would be willing to do that. So he's like, oh, that's cool. And then after a little while, uh, Kakashi arrives, being sent by the third Hokage after finding out that Naruto left the village, and Kakashi uses Pakun to track him down. So yeah, and then after that, uh, Kakashi finds Naruto asking why he's here, and Naruto's obviously met Kakashi once or twice before that he can remember off the top of his head, and he knows Kakashi is trustworthy, so uh, he tells him, "Oh, I just got sick of all the villagers treating me like dirt, and they always seem to have hated me, and all this, and Kakashi, hearing this, realizes Naruto has suffered more than anyone besides himself, knowing that his suffering is worst of all, having to see his best friend die in front of him, kill his other teammate who was in love with him, and then see his master be killed, watch his master's son be tormented by the villagers, and all of this um, makes Kakashi realize he needs to help Naruto. So he does. He obviously takes him back to the village, but instead of informing the Hokage that Naruto is back, he hides Naruto, raising Naruto as if he was his own son of sorts. And this results in Naruto over the years being trained by Kakashi, and he's hidden from everyone because Kakashi has a sizable piece of land, being a high ranked Jonin, getting a lot of money, and he's able to purchase property with more than one house on it. Kind of like a compound, but it's less than that. It's only three or four houses, and they're all close together. But this allows Naruto to be away from the villagers, and it's also outside of. Uh, it's like near where the Uchiha compound is, so it's away from all the villagers and uh um Naruto is trained here by Kakashi day and night for years until one day when Naruto turns 8, Kakashi uh is severely injured, and Naruto realizes that he needs to and Kakashi is severely injured on a mission through poison, but he doesn't realize it until after he gets home, and the next day he starts feeling symptoms and realizes that he's paralyzed and can't move. And Naruto finds him and realizes that he must get Kakashi to the hospital, and, that means he will have to reveal he is actually um, alive and in the village, but saving Kakashi is more important. Uh, but then at the exact same time, he remembers what he read in that scroll about how you must kill the person you love most in order to awaken the Baryon mode without killing Kodama. And Naruto thinks about it, but decides against it. This, and he forces it to the back of his mind once more and takes Kakashi to the hospital. And along the way, he's getting terrible glares, and everyone's whispering amongst themselves about how Naruto, the demon fox, is back in the village, and how the third must have lied to them and hidden him away in safety. And but this is obviously not true. So, uh, Naruto goes and he uh he goes, and when he arrives at the hospital with Kakashi, the nurses refuse to treat Kakashi because he is with Naruto. But Naruto obviously threatens to kill them, releasing a small amount of the Nine Tails chakra. This is just enough to scare them, and Abra um uh, and they obviously listen to Naruto, taking care of Kakashi for the next few days. But during that time, Hiruzen obviously finds out about Naruto's return and goes to him. And Naruto, he's just sitting there next to Kakashi in the hospital the entire time until he recovers, is easily found by Hiruzen. So Hiruzen asks Naruto where he's been, and Naruto, knowing if he tells Hiruzen about him being with Kakashi the entire time, Kakashi will obviously be in trouble. So he says, "Oh, I was out exploring the lands and discovering more about my power over the Nine Tails and other strengths of mine." This uh, is when Hiruzen, hearing the part about the Nine Tails, is a bit scared, and rightfully so, because this 8-year-old Naruto just told him about the Nine Tails and how he's been discovering a little bit about its power and other capabilities he has. So, Hiruzen is on edge and asks Naruto if he would like to stay somewhere, but he refuses and instead stays next to Kakashi, which is weird to Hiruzen because he doesn't know Kakashi, at least he shouldn't. So he asks Naruto about this, and Naruto just states, "Oh, I found him like this while on a mission, while he was on a mission, and I could tell he was poisoned, so I took him back here and uh, brought him to the hospital." Hiruzen can tell this is an obvious lie, but doesn't care because Kakashi is safe and Naruto, with the Nine Tails, is back in the village. Their Jinchuriki has returned. So, he is obviously excited, and Naruto goes on, and over the next few weeks, he continues living with Kakashi until, obviously, throughout this time, he's also working. He has a job with Ichiraku, who was nice to him all those years ago, but, uh, and he's still nice to him now, but Naruto now has a job there, and he's helping uh, around the place, carrying any heavy loads because forget the Ichiraku Ramen guy's name, but he is, getting old, so he can't carry as much as he used to, even though he's still the strongest character in Naruto. Uh, so with this, Naruto is getting paid enough to the point where he can start affording his own apartment. So he moves out from Kakashi's little small compound, you could say, and moves further into the village because it's closer to Ichiraku, and he's obviously going to the academy. And Naruto, at this point, he continues to think about that what he read in that scroll about killing the most important person to you to awaken Baryon mode without killing the tailed beast. But he continues attempting to push it to the back of his mind, and is successful for a few years until they graduate, when the thoughts start coming back, and before they graduate. So Naruto, when they graduate, is they're asked to do those clones, and he obviously does them, and he does more than just clones. He does shadow clones, water clones, earth clones, and this amazes Iruka. And he also does a lightning clone. But that's afterwards. So this just makes Iruka faint from witnessing Naruto creating all these different clones. He's shocked. He doesn't know what to say, and after waking up, he all those memories flowed back to him, and he instantly gives Naruto an A+ on that part. The written part, Naruto's also obviously very intelligent, being raised by Kakashi for 4 years, Um, and so he he aces this portion of the test and goes on to the Shuriken Kunai uh, portion, where he gets high marks, just not the highest, because though being trained by Kakashi, he's not as good as Sasuke, who aces it. Naruto gets a 9 out of 10. Sasuke gets a 10 out of 10. And everyone there's saying, "Oh, Naruto, obviously it was an uphill battle. He would never be able to beat Sasuke in anything because Sasuke-kun is so strong. He's so smart. He's so fast. He's all this and that." And Naruto, hearing this, he gets furious. And when the sparring portion comes around, it's time for Naruto and Sasuke to spar. So Naruto, knowing that he could easily defeat Sasuke, he could even easily kill Sasuke. So he goes about half strength, defeating him in a matter of seconds, starting off with a mud wall to counter Sasuke's fireball that was launched right off the bat, and then Naruto rushes in using a chakra enhanced punch, which the chakra was lightning. He's lightning chakra to enhance a punch, uh, electrocuting Sasuke slightly. This is when Naruto punches him over and over, and Sasuke gets cracked ribs. He gets a few broken bones. His nose is broken, and Iruka witnesses this, and this happens in a matter of 3, 4 seconds. So he can't do anything to stop it. But uh, afterwards, he splits the two up, and Naruto goes on, and all the people in the class are yelling at him, "Oh, you hurt my Sasuke-kun," and this and that, and everyone is shunning Naruto for beating up Sasuke. But at this point, Sasuke's realizing, like, Naruto's so much stronger than me. It's so unbelievable, and this just inspires him to train more and more. And even asks Naruto to the next day, uh, while they're waiting for their sensei, because they're assigned to Team Seven, and they are. Uh, Naruto knows who their sensei is gonna be, so he just sits there knowing it's gonna be a while because he was raised by Kakashi. Um, So with that, halfway through about, Sasuke asks Naruto if he would be willing to train him, and this uh, makes Naruto think, is it worth it or is it not? And he realizes, it could be useful having trained Sasuke because that could be another asset to the village, but he knows Sasuke is easily angered and provoked, and he doesn't have full control over his emotions, so he's hesitant, but he still agrees later that day when Sasuke returns again. But before that, their Jonin sensei, Kakashi, arrives 2 hours late, might I add. So when he arrives, Naruto quietly says, um, "Oh hey, big brother Kakashi," in the monotone, chill voice, and Sasuke hearing this as big brother, and Naruto's like, not actually my big brother, but he was there. He helped raise me and all of this. And Sasuke's like, oh, okay. So uh, Naruto goes on, and they go up to the roof, explaining that. As Kakashi asks what their dreams and goals and dislikes and likes are in life, and everyone stays the same except Naruto's. He says Oh, my dream is to become strong enough to defend those I love, but I am willing to sacrifice anything along the path of strength. And Naruto then says, my likes are ramen, helping Teichi was the ramen guy's name, I think. Helping the ramen guy's name, whatever it is, Teichi, I think. Helping him. Dislikes are all the villagers who have been rude, abusive towards Naruto, even. And uh, this just uh, makes Sasuke realize, like, Naruto had it pretty damn bad, and all this time he was rude to him for no reason. So, uh, Naruto, or not Naruto, and with that, Kakashi says, "Okay, tomorrow meet me at this training ground. Is over there." Gives them directions just in case they get lost, and tells them not to eat. And Naruto knows something's up here because uh, a shinobi must always be well fed so they have the energy during a fight and they aren't tired or exhausted or anything. So Naruto obviously knows this and afterwards informs his two teammates, but before that, um, he goes and before he that's over, Kakashi also states, "Oh, and by the way, tomorrow you are tomorrow, Naruto, you are not assisting in the test. It'll just be these two because I know you're more well than qualified for this because you have demonstrated it to me in the past." So Sasuke, hearing this, is like, okay. So he's proved his strength to our sensei in the past. So with that, they go on with their day. Sasuke asks Naruto if he has decided to train him, and Naruto agrees to that, obviously. Somewhat hesitantly still, but he agrees nonetheless. And uh, Sakura, she's there just right after Kakashi leaves, wondering what she's gonna do for the day. Naruto already knows he's about to go to work, and secretly, uh, from a rooftop a little ways away, there's a girl, and that is watching Naruto. But that will be it for today, and I hope you all enjoyed. So without further ado, I'm going to end this here. And remember, the first or the random person to comment on my videos from now until the 20th of January will receive a 12-month subscription to PlayStation Plus. Uh, Also, please like, subscribe if you enjoyed, or if you want to see more of my content. Subscribe especially there. So, without further ado, this is Sakatsu saying.